Before we start this video, I just want to say this video trails off at the end, and it's not as in-depth as I wanted, but let's get this started and show you what happened with Gus Gus. What's going on, you guys? We're out here in the shop. Got Gus Gus back there under the tarp. We took him out to Rainbow Falls. He did okay. We have a couple gremlins we wanted to sort out. Left him parked for about a month, went on vacation, came home, tried taking him around the block, and it's not right. He's pulling to the right, the steering's binding, and I don't know if it's something to do with that new steering box we put in or if it's something to do with the front locker. The front locker on these Jeeps, you can even feel them when in two-wheel drive just because of how the front axle is on this setup. We're going to go ahead and get the tarp off, get Pony Express moved out of the way, and we're hoping we can get Gus Gus in without any trickery. Hopefully he'll let me turn him enough to get him into the shop. If not, I'm going to have to get creative and probably drag him with one of the trucks sideways so we can get him to turn around. Okay, we have Gus Gus in the garage. I noticed the steering box is leaking fluid now, and that's from me forcing it to turn the last time I drove it. Probably gonna have to replace the box now too. But this locker is letting it turn and not letting it turn, so it's causing it to bind. So we're probably gonna just yank the locker, put spider gears in it, and run an open differential until I can afford something else. Looking at the power steering gearbox, there's definitely fluid underneath the fan on top of the box. I think we're gonna have to drop this no matter what and just inspect it. Kind of sucks, but can't really get my camera in there to show you guys either. It might just be a gasket leaking. Maybe it just built up too much pressure. Well, let's go ahead and get the steering disconnected. We know that the issue lies in the axle. We're going to go ahead and pull this locker out, and then we'll go ahead and put spider gears in it. I have some brand new spider gears. We'll go ahead and pull those out and show you. Here we have some replacement spider gears from Yukon. These were donated to us by my brother. He's got more experience doing gears. Cody told me I should be able to go ahead and just pull the axles, pull the third member, remove the locker, and then put these in place as long as I put the shims and everything back how it goes. I've never torn into an axle, so this is going to be an experience for both of us. Let's go ahead and get this thing jacked up, and then we'll go from there. What's going on, you guys? Just got off of work. Decided I want to get Gus Gus jacked up, get the tires blown off. That way we can at least come out tomorrow with my day off of work and try to get this axle disassembled, get those spider gears in, and get it all put back together. I did notice while I was underneath Gus Gus that the rear axle is leaking. So now we're going to have to also go through and put new axle seals in the back. We'll have to go ahead and square that up. So if it's not one thing, it's another. I'm kind of not happy with how these axles turned out. I don't know if it's a builder issue, if it's just parts sitting because it took a year to put it all together. But we'll get it squared up. We'll get them on the road, and then we'll eventually, one of these days, sort out what we're going to do about lockers. Eventually, we will put another locker back in the front end. It just might have to wait a little while. So let's go and get this thing jacked up, get the tires off it, and go from there. Gus Gus is on jack stands. Tires are taken off. We're going to call this the morning. We'll pick it up tomorrow when I have a fresh mindset and not so tired from work. I've never taken a differential apart as far as we plan to. I've taken axle shafts out, I've replaced pinion seals, I've even resealed differential covers, but I've never actually fully unbolted a carrier. I've talked to my brother about it, who's done this a few times, and he told me just to make sure I keep everything in the proper orientation, which means keep the shims on the side they came out of, keep the caps and the cap bolts how they came off the axle. He told me I should be able to remove the carrier, pull the locker, and then at that point just pop the spider gears in and put everything back how it went. So tomorrow will be a new adventure for all of us. I'll take you along for this because, like I said, I don't know what it's going to bring. Never gone this far into it. So hopefully it goes smooth, but we'll pick this up tomorrow. It's Thursday. I guess I better get back to work. Shop dog is inspecting it, making sure I'm actually doing something today. So with that being said, kids are at school. I'm going to start by taking the drag link off. I'm hoping I can just swing it out of the way. Then we can start taking the brake calipers, rotors, wheel hub off, and then slide the axles out. Simple, but time consuming. I did forget to charge my power tools, so I'll be doing this all by hand, which will be fun. We're going to start by pulling the cotter pin. Then we can go ahead and remove our castle nut, knock this down, and it should swing forward enough to give us clearance from the pumpkin. I'm hoping I don't have to take it all the way off. Now we'll grab a socket and we'll pull our castle nut. Castle nut off. We can go ahead and pull the drag link loose. Looks like it'll give us enough movement to get in there. Really isn't all that difficult to remove, so we might just take it off altogether. I haven't decided yet. Now I'm going to go ahead and hop on the passenger side, start disassembly. There's more room for me to film, and then we'll duplicate it on the driver's side. We're going to start by removing the cotter pin, and then we'll move this cover, and then we can move the axle nut. Then we're going to take off the brake caliper, slide the rotor off, and then access the 3 bolts in the back to get the hub off. I forgot to charge my impact gun and my ratchet, and I'm hoping I have enough power to at least get these axle nuts out. Alright, well, we'll take that as a win. Now we'll grab our ratchet and start getting the brake caliper off, and then we should just have to undo the 3 bolts behind the knuckle. $12mm bolts. Get them unscrewed, and then the rest is pretty simple. It's just like doing a brake job. Lucky for me, I put all new hardware on this front end when I rebuilt it, so we can expect it to come apart easier. Hopefully, unless we damage something while we took our first outing. So. Now we have our assembly apart. We got the axle pulled out. We're going to go mimic this on the other side. We have our brake assembly off. Everything else is apart. Axle's out. We just have to pull the diff cover, drain the fluid, and then we can go ahead and start to assess what it's going to take to get the locker out of the front end. All right, so we have our bolts under here. I've got the electric ratchet charged up enough to at least get this knocked loose. So we'll go ahead and start on this, and then we'll get the fluid drained out and see what is inside. Alright, so with a hammer and a flathead, we should be able to get this thing pop free. And we're probably going to make a mess. It never fails. Alright. And you guys can see our locker. Now it definitely looks like I'm going to have to pull the carrier. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to this cross pin. I could try to rotate it and look, but just give me a second here. I've read somewhere that some of these gears will block the cross pin depending on your gear ratio. So I'm going to have to put a shaft back in it, spin it around. But I can tell you just by feel that it definitely is under this gear set. So we're going to have to take the caps off, and then we're going to have to take the ring gear off, and we can go from there. Alright, we got our impact gun. We'll go and pull these caps. I need to get a rag on the ground. So we're going to lay the caps on it, how they came off. The key thing is orientation, making sure everything goes back on how it came out. I've never done this before, so I'm going off what I've been told, and hopefully we don't run into any problems. I'll take the other side off. I really need a smaller impact, but it does the job when I need it to. Alright. All these are loose, and might need to pry it out, I guess. I don't know. This is interesting. The sucker's definitely in there. Well, we hit a snag. Got everything loose. Carrier does not want to come out. I've tried popping it out with a screwdriver, using a dead blow, even tried a pry bar. which resulted in me bending my pry bar. So I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board. We'll have to figure out what it's gonna take to get this dang thing out. It's unbolted. There's nothing holding it in. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys updated. Alright, it's been a few days. I tweaked my back trying to get this thing out. I tried pry bars, that didn't work. I tried a wrench on the upper bolt and prying out, it didn't work. I tried a rag against the pinion and the gear, that didn't work. And then doing a little bit more research told me there's such a thing called a differential spreader, which goes in the nubs on the differential and spreads it 10 to 20 thousandths and takes the stress off this carrier setup. So let me show you what this tool looks like. One of the guys was kind enough to loan it to me, which was a lifesaver because they are not cheap tools. So let me show you the setup and let's try it out and see how it works. Well, here is my borrowed differential spreader. You guys can see the nubs here and here. They go into two little indents on the differential and then spread it open by adjusting this nut here. Here we have our differential. You can see this hole here and the one on the other side. That is what we're going to be putting our spreader on. And we're going to open this 10 to 20 thousandths and hopefully it comes out. Okay, so we have tried this differential spreader. You're only supposed to go 10 to 20 thousandths, and I'm pretty sure I went even further. It was not enough to release this carrier from where it's bound up. I did notice that the locker finally unlocked, which tells me there's too much side load pushing on this carrier, either twisting it or causing it to distort. What am I going to do about it? I don't know. Right now, it looks like we're going to send this out because it's getting above where I'm comfortable tearing into a differential. If my brother was here, I would have him help me out. But I spoke to Evolution Off-Road, and they said they can get this in, get it apart, check clearances, and we're going to put it in an E locker. I'm going to go ahead and do the electric locker. And then I would know I won't have any problems on road when I drive it around here. And when we go off road, we still have that selectable locker for whenever we want to go wheeling. So for now, we'll go ahead and put this back together, button it up, and kind of conclude things here. Not what I want to be doing, but I also don't want to cut this carrier, or not the carrier, but cut the bearings and try to get it out and get further than what I have for tools here at the house. So let's go and get this thing back together and then we'll go from there. Well, you guys, we tried. Didn't succeed, unfortunately. I can't believe this carrier's in here this tight, but we'll get it sorted. December 11th, Gus Gus goes into Evolution Off-Road, and we're going to go ahead and put that E locker in here and square that up. Look forward to the next video where we attack the rear axle. We need to do both rear axle seals and get that sealed up with some fresh fluid. And then eventually we need to address the steering box leaking, whether we put a new box in or rebuild it. So all that's coming up in the near future. If you like what you saw, click the like and subscribe button. God bless and take care. Thanks for watching.